Good evening and welcome to the third installment of Richmond and Race, The Conversation. I'm John Rodgers.
And I'm 8 News anchor Constance Jones. We are again here at Virginia Union University to have these important conversations. And over the last few weeks, we were talking to our members of the community about some of the social unrest that we've seen, not just here in the city of Richmond, but throughout the country. And today, the conversation is going to be a little bit different as we're entering into the sports world with our fantastic panelist.
Yes, so let's...
And to echo off that, and I'd like to, obviously the beautiful woman in the room, the only one on our panel, and I hate to put the spotlight on you, but yes, we've heard women really becoming a strong voice. We've got obviously Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, who was wearing the masks with the names of the victims from police-involved shootings, the WNBA. How important is it for women and then women of color to speak up during all of this?
I think it's very important. I think that we have that
perspective. So it can lead to that, and that is the power of social media and how the word spreads so quickly.
And obviously there's been a lot of change in the city of Richmond the last few months, and most notably Monument Avenue. And I turn the question over to Councilmember Jones because we broke into programming the moment the first statue came down, and you were live on air with us for 30 to 40 minutes as we were bouncing back and forth discussing change in Richmond. Is there a proper place in our society and within our city to still have these images, or how do we engage our conversation when we still have to reflect on our past, because we have to learn from our past, but maybe not have them right in the middle of town?
Well, I think there's a difference between history, there's a difference between past, and how you celebrate that.
It's going to really truly shape what our kids will be able to do in the future.
Next question for Felicia Johnson, obviously from athlete now to a leadership role at the university, and obviously dealing with students who are probably having a hard time expressing themselves, students who are protesting, students who are taking to Facebook, student athletes who are maybe trying to figure out what their voice is in all of this. How are you mentoring or helping the younger voices out there cope with this, especially since athletes also play a leadership role at their schools?
Yes, they're definitely leaders, and that's what we hope that they will.
And for everyone here on the board, people of color in leadership being the only one oftentimes. And for me, I've been the only one in a room, in an important room with people, and I was the only person with this face. And I know that for most people of color here, that has been the story, right? So how do we put a hand back and pull others so we're not the only one in the room, that we can bring others up with us? And we touched on that slightly, that yeah, we have to have these discussions beyond what happens after NFL. How do we encourage our minority athletes to aspire to more and to let them know that there is more beyond playing until you're 28? And Chief, I know you had echoed just some of your experiences here as a football player, and now obviously you're in a position of leadership where you do have the opportunity to do that, to uplift others. Tell us what steps we could take.
So I think it goes back to what Mike mentioned earlier. I mean, a lot of times